let us not be shocked here. The Ace Beauté.
And this is retroactive. This is giving Glenn Close her Oscar, finally.
We had a bronzer contour situation in the squeeze tube that was duping Charlotte. So I said, what is she doing?
Say it to her face.
Why am I going to struggle to take off my makeup at the end of the day?
Absolutely.
And this just does it. And it doesn't flake. It doesn't smudge.
I know you may not believe me. Never in my life did I think we would all find a dupe for the Rare Beauty Laminating Brow Gel as good as Rare Beauty beyond belief.
These are brand new. Mama, when I tell you, I ordered 2 of this nude and I ordered 4 other shades because they were buy one, get one 40 off at Ulta. And I said, order. Hello. Hi. Good morning. Good morning, America.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. What if we did this like a fucking news?
Good morning. 3 were found dead because they shoved spiked dildos up their asshole. But stay tuned to see which microwavable popcorn is killing your daughter.
It could be the most dangerous thing in the world, and you may be having it for dinner tonight at 11. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 2nd annual Mary Dugan Awards.
Oh, wow. I can't believe that was a year ago.
I know. I still have the graphic as you as a cat lady.
Yeah. Oh, God. What a nice sentiment that was to watch the episode not knowing that was coming. It was so nice.
I like surprising you.
I was surprised.
I like surprising you. What can I say? I just like you. I did.
Why? What is it? Not nothing. I just like you.
I felt that yesterday because what the hell's today? Wednesday.
It is.
What? Yeah, Wednesday. We didn't do anything Monday because I was editing. Tuesday we did your hair.
Yes,
your hair. And
I'm as free as my hair.
Free as your hair, and. I felt that way Monday night. I was literally in bed, like, giddy to see you because I missed you. Oh, I felt like I hadn't seen you in a while. Even though the Thursday before at volleyball. I don't know why.
Because it's a little strange because I feel like when I do things without you, that I would want you there for. Yeah. Like, I have plans to see Wicked again.
Oh, yeah.
And you went to go see it.
A third time.
For the 3rd time. I have plans to go see it a 3rd, possibly a 4th time because other people are now like, I want to go see it with you. And I'm like, why?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, why do you want to? Why? You got to bring your token gay friend? And it's like these people coming out of the woodwork that I'm like.
You know, I feel like it really is a movie that's fun to see it with people. Because I don't know what, like you just kind of, there's so much to talk about when it's over that you're like, I told you what I saw it this past weekend with my mom and my sister. And my mom, like, I knew my mom was going to be in tears.
Almost.
And it was like a 50-50 whether my sister was going to like it because it's long. It's like 2 hours, 45 minutes. The minute the movie's over, my mom like sits up in the chair and she's like, I have a lump in my throat, like crying. And my sister loved it too, which I was surprised that she like full blown. Yeah. Because it was just done so well.
I am like trying to convince Dan to go because all of the things that I see, like, I'm bringing my boyfriend who doesn't like this. Yes. Like, and they walk out and it's like, yes, it's funny. But there are people that are like, I went into this. I'm not a Broadway musical person.
Yeah.
This movie was very moving.
Absolutely.
I think the Broadway show might not make me cry.
Yeah.
But something about the character development and the performance of it all. We've talked about this on Patreon. Here. And I just think that Cynthia Erivo just made me feel things about. And even she's talked about in interviews that it heals like her inner child, that she was like, when I had to have this discussion with myself, like almost grabbing my inner child's hand and being like, it's okay. Like, it's going to like, look at me. We're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And I think going into the movie, seeing her go through this, like, they're about to make me evil. So I'm going to, spoiler.
Yeah.
I'll give you what you want.
Yeah.
Then like I have nothing left to lose. And I think that's what makes me so sad. It's like, okay, you want me to be the villain? I will.
Yes. It's green people. We get to choose our family. Yeah.
You look like the wizard.
I know. I got
those pants.
These pants I thrifted them. We thrifted them yesterday. We went to a thrift shop and women's, of course, because God forbid men have green pants. So, but we wanted to serve the lurks for the awards episode.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it takes so long to get ready. You were ready like an hour and a half.
Okay, but I started getting ready.
Yeah, I was cutting my hair, but
I was doing my makeup like just
Yeah.
way before you. So I knew I was going to be just
done.
tiptoeing through your house, looking at the scenery.
Yeah. So, and I did
yeah.
try to use some of our awards winners. This is the Robert Divination on my eyes and another Blend Bunny palette. The foundation I'm trying testing out. This is that after talking to Robert last week, and we were talking all about K-beauty brands, and then a clip of that episode went viral on TikTok, and a bunch of people were like talking about K-beauty makeup, and I ordered the Tier brand foundation, cushion foundation. I want to try two. So I got the red cushion, the like more, I guess you could say famous one in the middle. That's a satin finish. And then they have a super glowy one, and then one that's a semi-matte finish. The glowy one is the silver, and the semi-matte is the pink case.
Interesting.
I want to get the semi-matte, but I'm impatient, and I wanted to try it, wear it today. So last night I ordered the red one because I was like, let me try the satin because my skin's been a little bit more balanced. But that qualified for overnight shipping, and the semi-matte didn't. So I still want to order the semi-matte.
It looks great on you.
It does look really pretty.
Your skin looks great.
It's nice.
I
it's
would
really
love
nice
to try that because I think I'm over the overly glowy products because I set them anyway.
Yes.
And I'm finding that I get oily in areas where the glowiness comes right off of me. So
Absolutely.
I'm like around my nose, on my forehead, like I naturally get shiny throughout the day. So I'm like, why the fuck am I going to put something so hydrating and glowy and wet?
Yes.
And then I'm setting it anyway. It's almost defeating the purpose.
I'd always rather go a little bit more matte without looking dry because I know I'm going to get more dewy on my own. A little more, the freshness is going to come in about an hour.
Like, yeah, and I don't mind that my makeup looks a little lived in.
Yeah.
But when it starts to separate is where I have an issue. Yeah.
Yes. Totally.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So this is our awards episode, second annual.
Yeah.
And we, the criteria of what we tried to pick this year, we really tried to keep it to launches this year, unlike other awards that, give the award to something that came out 20 years ago. But also we tried to, if it came out last year, but we didn't test it in time to put it in last year's awards, it made it on this year if it remained as a best of the best. But overall, man,
and we tried not to repeat from last year as well.
No.
So like our favorite brow pencil, Rare Beauty last year, we didn't do that this year because it's repetitive. Y'all know.
We wanted to find new stuff.
We love.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a lot of these things you might see that are brand new that we've gotten to try.
Yes.
For a little bit of time. And there are things that, we might not have a winner in a certain category, but that doesn't mean that we don't love it anymore. It's just the fact that like I did my full face today with all winners.
Yes.
Knowing what we picked, I'm like, okay.
All stars, all winners.
All winner season right here. And I'm just like, I don't know. There were so many different things that like,
we didn't want to pick something for the sake of picking it because there was quote unquote like no winner where hair on my lip.
It's maybe my jacket fuzz from yesterday.
Kevin showed up in this green Groucho. No,
I would say it's teal.
Oscar the Grouch. Yeah, it was a little more blue green, and that fucking thing was shedding. You lowered the windows in your car, and I thought I was gonna like inhale.
I was on my way here, listening to the Wicked soundtrack.
So if you can, and there's red,
and it's just
green
a tornado
fibers all around.
Nessa Rose, look out.
Yeah. But yeah, we didn't want to just pick something for the sake of picking it, but we also didn't want to repeat because we wanted it to be like new stuff, either this year or from last year that we didn't have enough time to try. So definitely after this, if you categories missing, et cetera, if there was no winners this year, we were like ruthless. Make sure to watch last year's as well, because all of that stuff is still my favorite. And I think that was the hardest part about this year's awards was that overall, this was a boots nasty year. The makeup that came out this year was shit. It really was not that impressive as it was last year. Last year was incredible. Like thinking about making this list versus last year was so good. Not only was there a winner in every category that we were like nervous to, fit it within the time frame, but everything from last year is still front and center in my rotation. Mm-hmm. So to be a winner this year, you had to be exceptional.
And you had to almost be on par with the products from last year. So like, even in next week's episode, the last one with all the skincare, keeping that in mind of like, our brand of the year was Glow Recipe last year. And I'm like, but what? Because I still use my Glow Recipe stuff. And I'm like, but what is on par, if not better than this. Because if it's anywhere, I don't care then.
Yes.
Because if it's not working for me, that is, and y'all know, this is why you come here every week. This is why we do these awards, because we're telling you, if it's not here, and we're not picking products, and we'll get into that even with our first one, that we're not going to pick a product for the sake of picking a product, like you said. We are picking it with our audience in mind and the integrity that we've built since last year and starting doing this. So
it's almost a way to think about it, almost like consider watch last year after this, and everything from this year is added to that. You know what I mean? That was our philosophy.
Yeah.
Because it had to be.
It's joining the All-Stars Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Little picture frame.
Yeah. So that was really the criteria this year, because we were not fucking around.
No.
Like, and what else, man? The fucking drones in New Jersey, everybody. We really haven't gotten to talk about hot topics. How you doing? Because we've had a lot of scheduled episodes. We had Robert, we had the whole 9, and Luigi taking over the internet.
Girl, okay, let me just say, I am not
glorifying murder.
I'm not going to glorify murder. I'm not glorifying a killer, because people said this with like Ted Bundy when all that came out, that he was hot, whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to say it, though, extremely different. Ted Bundy is murdering innocent people.
But serial killer.
Let's really have a conversation about the fact that 99% of CEOs in this country are fine murdering thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people a month. But they're just not pulling the trigger, so it's not as bad. So, you know what? I'm not saying people should be murdered, but
no, not
I'll leave
at all.
That there.
And I'm just like, and listen, I think this is something that he's going to have his own Ryan Murphy production show eventually. Mama, he is so hot.
And did you see today? It was like they are getting people to come out of the woodworks that are like his friends. And I just saw a photo today of like a friend. It was like, this is getting out of control, because it was a picture of a friend of his talking about him. Also, just unbelievable.
Girl, I like, and it just, the memes and everything are just crazy. And I'm eating it up, because I just, listen, let me just live. It is 2024. We don't know what's happening. And he is so gorgeous. And I'm objectifying, like, I'm objectively saying he is just a beautiful fucking person.
And objectifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just, and listen, I don't condone what he did by any means, but my God, he is so gorgeous. And
listen,
you know
gorgeous
what?
is gorgeous.
Can I just say this here and now?
Gorgeous devours cute.
Screaming. We are beautiful. He is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Stunning.
We're in our own level of beauty. He is in his own lane too. We're like glamorous and gorgeous.
Glamorous.
He is just like Hollister bag model. And let me say this, and I just want to say this now. I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Yes.
But I do think it's a little funky, funny, and not fresh that we had a gas station fucking surveillance photo of a person with a mask on, and all of a sudden we find him in 2 seconds. But there are other people that have committed crimes in this country that we have no information on, which I think is so funny.
Absolutely.
But I think it's hilarious how we all of a sudden then just catch this person and with a mask and it's him and blah, 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 whatever.
Well, because if I'm not mistaken, I think he like almost wanted to be caught. From what I've heard about, like the manifesto he wrote like, and the whole 9.
Yeah, like, is this actually him? Because if it is, then girl, work. Because
we better get a televised trial.
No, we shouldn't.
Yeah, but you know what?
You're gonna see my outside of the courthouse like Joker and Harley Quinn. I'm gonna be going up the stairs, kissing a random woman, and be like, "That's my man."
You better believe people are gonna show up at that fucking courthouse, man. It's gonna be Free Britney all over again.
Okay, do you think he knows what's happening right now? Because he's probably not able to access his cell phone,
and probably not maybe slightly. Like because I'm sure he has people talking to him, like his lawyer, etc. And
but are they telling him that?
Well, I'm sure. I mean, you know, I'm only going off of like
the girls, the gays, and the theys are thirsting, mama, and I am right there. Hello, mama.
Hello. I'm only going off of movies and TV I've seen, but you know, the lawyer literally usually goes, you know, we have public opinion is on our side because ... Like people are, you know. Yeah.
Girl, do you need, I will call in collect. What jail are you in? I will.
You're waiting for that
where
call.
are you from?
Or will you accept this call from something penitentiary?
Yeah.
And you're like, yes, before they even say anything. Yeah. It just speaks volumes to me that like this is the thing in the latter half of the year that's like unifying the country. That's how fed up everybody is. The American broken system of the whole, especially when it comes to healthcare, so on and so forth, is so catastrophic and cruel. And like I said, every CEO is fine with, how many thousands of people die a day in this country because of fucking our healthcare system. And that's fine. There's no problem there. So people are fed up and done because of the nonsense, i.e. the fucking drones in New Jersey that we can't get a straight answer about.
And I love that they, there was somebody the other day that went into like a press conference, if you will, the equivalent of at some New Jersey, whatever. And he was a lawyer coming out, I think. And he said something along the lines of, I went in there hoping we would have answers because they called a meeting. So we're all going in thinking that we're going to get answers of what these, what their intention is of sending out all these drones. They go in and say, yeah, we don't really know anything. And he goes, so why did you call this if you don't know what is happening, who is doing it? And then it comes out that there was somebody in a helicopter.
Yeah.
Saw one of the drones.
Yeah.
And booked it. Because he didn't want his helicopter being compromised.
Because I admit, I didn't really know. I didn't know the depths that this really was happening. Because I will say where I live in Jersey, I don't know about you, but we don't really have a lot. I'm much more east. So like I'm 10 minutes outside New York City. But my family is from northwest Jersey. So they're about half an hour from Pennsylvania. My sister was telling me like she lives very it's not very rural, but big backyard. She can see like the sky, everything else. She was like at nighttime, like looking out her back. She's like, my backyard is lit up with the lights all from like they are all over where I grew up. And I feel like you and I, where we live, it's not as prevalent.
Have not seen one.
Because it's a lot more, I don't know, I think rural areas. And then it started on the coast, like on the beach.
They said Ocean County, New Jersey is where they were spotted. And you saw them. It was almost weird. It looked like water and then something like over the horizon. You see them all come up in like one, two, in like a straight line. You see them all come up. Girl.
And when other people were like bringing their drones, like drones people can buy, a little like doohickey.
6-foot drones.
Girl, they're as big as cars. Which that's
I'm scared.
That and you have to understand. So it has to be something. It's someone's government property. It's whatever because they're too expensive. That would be millions and millions of dollars.
This ain't no Circuit City, Circuit
Radio
City,
Shack drone,
fucking drone,
and people's Radio Shack drones that they're sending up to try to like get near,
get a photo or something.
The ookie spooky. The big drones make people's drones like malfunction and. Just I don't know.
I want those big drones to like pull out like a Bugs Bunny giant hammer and just boop,
totally
and whack the little drones.
So people can't even get their drones near these ones, and it's just so like.
But I love, you know what? I love it that we have no fucking idea what these are, who's doing it. Oh, we shouldn't send out our own. But you know what? This is where I
think it's internal. I think it's our
really
government.
do because I'm thinking if they really wanted to find out who was sending these drones, they would have the U.S. fucking military and the militia on these things. They would be shooting them down or following them.
And I actually came across a video the other day. Trump said that. He said, he's like, the government knows what these are. And he said...
Trump said that?
Trump said, yeah. And he's obviously not in office yet. So he's almost speaking as a... citizen, but you know what? He's not in the situation room yet. The government knows what these are, and he said, and I mean, from his point, he was president, so he obviously knows, the inner workings. He knows how this would be handled, if you will, or could be handled.
They have his name on it. That he made them before,
and he said he's like the government knows what these are, and he goes, they're not foreign because if they were foreign, they would have been shot down by now. And so he said he basically confirmed that he thinks, and it was annoying. annoying, even his video, because of course it was giving, I know what they are, but I'm not going to tell you. But he was basically saying that they have to, like, he's almost certain that there are intelligence for some reason. Who knows? But it's just,
and what
it's
are you
weird.
trying to find out, mama?
It's weird. And now there's like videos surfacing of like FBI whistleblowers saying like stock up on 3-4 months of food and like get ready, like for what it's just like, and that's what I mean. It's so annoying to live in the time that we live in because, you know, it's so easy for people to always look at other people and go like, oh, you're not informed. You're not this. We don't know what is true anymore. There's no source in this country, newspaper, news channels, media. There is no fucking news channels or news source in any way, shape, and form anymore that it has not been caught lying, continues to lie. So who the fuck do you believe? Yeah. What are you supposed? I can't even believe an FBI agent whistleblower anymore in a fucking trial and hearing saying that he knows something because everything is so fucked up and convoluted. We're living in a time where it's textbook, Boy Who Cried Wolf for everything. Mm-hmm. It's so hard to trust anyone and anything that I don't know. I just have the fucking mentality of like, go about my life where we can all barely afford housing and groceries, etc. And if I fucking blow up tomorrow, I blow up. But in the meantime, I'm going to review makeup. Yeah. It's just, it's sad. So no wonder everyone fucking wants to ride Luigi in a conjugal visit. Like, Luigi, Mario. I'll be Mario.
I'll be Princess Peach, bitch. I will show up like Princess fucking Peach.
You can wear my Glinda dress.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Goodness knows.
Goodness knows. You just fucking outside the courtroom.
And they're just like, get him out of here.
Girl, yeah, get out of here. Oh my God. Well, let's take a break and come back with Mary Dugan Awards. Alrighty, let's dive into the awards. First up, the winner, drumroll, for Best Primers goes to the One Size Oil Sucker and the Dolce & Gabbana
Everlast Primer. Everlasting Gobstopper.
Everlast Primer. So, I mean, guys, you know, I feel like you're more familiar with the One Size Oil Sucker. This thing, it's what I've always dreamed of. It's the Becca all over again. Like, this thing could keep you shiny beyond belief.
Shine free.
Oh, it's could keep you shiny. Makes you greasy. No, I meant, yes, keeps you matte like no one's business, to the point that, I mean, this is so phenomenal to me that it opened the door to the spiritual realm. No, it opened the door for me to be able to wear foundations I could never wear because I would just get way too shiny. Mm-hmm. So I was so excited after trying this and using it and loving it to get to branch out into using other foundations that were blurring and etc. But they just had too much built-in satin finish or luminosity that I was like, this may look beautiful for the other aspects, but I'm going to be shiny. So this is like the Mac Daddy. And it was so funny because I ordered the Dolce & Gabbana foundation and the Dolce & Gabbana Everlast primer. And I ordered this because it's blurring and pore minimizing and mattifying. And at first I started using this and I was using it with the Dolce & Gabbana foundation. And I was like, and the Dolce & Gabbana foundation also eats the house down. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. And I started wearing this primer this has genuinely been the only primer I've used since I got them, which was quite a while ago now. I feel like maybe almost like 2 months ago. This primer, why I love it so much is because I feel like it is the baby. It's the baby sister of this One Size, where the longer I've had this One Size, because you didn't get this, right?
The oil sucker, neither. I don't have either. Yes. Of these.
The oil sucker. After my thing with the oil sucker is sometimes if you are not oily enough, it's too much.
Well, that's what it says. They put a disclaimer that you should only put this where you are the oiliest. Do not put this anywhere else.
No.
So there is a disclaimer on it.
And what I realized was like the longer I've had my One Size, when I go to like take the cap on and off, any remnants around the lid literally almost like crackles off and turns into like powder. Like that's how whatever's in it to suck up the oil. She is intense. This Dolce & Gabbana, not only smoothing, blurring with hydration, which one size doesn't have. It is the perfect amount of mattifying. It's just, so if you're somebody that you're not like oily, and I know a lot of you, if I'm remembering correctly based on the Viewers' Choice Awards by you guys, I'm pretty sure this was on there.
The oil sucker.
Oil sucker. So if you guys feel like you've maybe started to dissipate using it because you're like, oh, there's times I'm not oily enough, this Dolce & Gabbana, worth every penny. Worth every penny.
And
it is unreal.
It's not as expensive as I thought it was going to be. It's the same price as Dior.
Yes. And $52, I believe. Maybe a little cheaper than maybe like $49, $50. But you need the littlest bit. Because again, I don't really put this everywhere. I concentrate this in the center of my forehead, between my brows, and then my nose outwards, like on my pores here and here, but I don't really put it everywhere because I really am using it more for the blurring and mattifying. So where I get oily and eyed pores. So I barely made a dent in it, and I've used it nonstop for 2 months. This was so impressive.
Lovely. Okay, so next up for the best foundations of the year, we have the Dior foundation stick, the Supergoop Protect Tint SPF 50, and then the Maybelline Super Stay Skin Tint. Oh my gosh. I have to say I was on the fence for a little while with the Dior foundation stick because it's wonderful, but I really came to the conclusion that doing less is more and buildable. So if you want to put a little bit on and almost give yourself a skin tint-esque kind of coverage, it sits like skin. It blends in like butter.
Yes.
And buttery, flaky. It goes on super skin-like, and it's a mattifying quote unquote matte stick, but it's almost more, I feel like it's arguably more satin and more of a satin
I
matte.
don't really get matte from this.
No, I think it's a very natural finish, or it's a natural overall.
Perfect,
it's the perfect satin finish.
Yeah.
Because it really does sit beautifully. Again, you don't need to overdo it, but you can layer it. Again, if you put a good round of it on, you're like, I want a little bit more in certain areas. You can go back in, and I'll take it with my finger and dab and then blend it over and just tap it through with a brush. And I love using it's like a MAC, just like their buffing foundation brush. Yeah. And anything a little more dense with this is beautiful.
Yes.
But love it.
I've sat across from you every week for almost 2 years at this point. This foundation is the most beautiful foundation I've ever seen on you.
This is what I have on now. Yes.
Absolutely. So it's unbelievable.
It's just incredible. And I will say the only qualm that I have with it, I want more shades. I think the shade range needs to be as good as the liquids.
Yes.
And if not a little more edited, because sometimes the liquids can be a little funny.
Yes.
I do think that we could expand.
And I need that fragrance taken out.
Yeah, it's a little, and listen, do I smell it now? No.
Yes, it does go away, but it's
first it's a little floral.
Yeah, girl.
And the contours are nasty. So I'm redo the contours, come out with better. And this already is going viral online. So I think it's
unreal. And
hopefully they will expand.
Even for me with pores and combo skin, I tried yours. I 2 weeks ago, I want to say, I filmed with it. It was so I had a full face of it on. We played volleyball afterwards, came home, phenomenal. And I had this was also the Dolce & Gabbana primer underneath. So that was probably helping me with the mattifying. It was not broken up, not shiny, not settling into the pores. Because what I love about this, and we've talked about this with stick foundations, and I also want to acknowledge the She Glam almost made it. The She Glam stick foundation almost made it. But for both of us, the Dior knocked the She Glam out because it edged out the She Glam because it's perfect for everybody. Where the She Glam, it is what I love about the Dior as well. I want a foundation stick that the minute it hits the skin, it melts into the consistency of a fucking foundation. I don't like foundation sticks that it's dragging my skin and it's dry. Or you know what I mean?
Too much coverage right off the bat, and then it's not looking
goopy
like skin. And then it's if you do too much, where I feel like the Dior
turns into the most beautiful, creamy, silky, blurring. It has a stretch to it, the pigment, that is so stunning.
I feel like if I put too much, let's say on my forehead or somewhere, I can easily take a little bit with my fingers and pull it in different areas, and it just looks beautiful.
And I feel like you almost can't, it's harder to overuse Dior, where She Glam, if you do have a little bit too much in a certain area with lines, etc., it will settle if not set properly.
100%.
So that's why this kind of got edged out.
Yeah.
Then for the Maybelline Superstay, I know this came out last year, but it didn't win an award last year. Honestly, I feel like it was oversight on my part, but B, I just worn it a lot more this year. I don't understand why more people don't talk about this, because it's marketed as a radiant finish, which no, it isn't. It's a satin natural finish in the middle, but it does have that, especially for someone with oily skin, it has just enough of that skin-like glow where you can use the littlest bit of this, because it is a skin tint, but I would say it's more of a medium coverage, but it shears down where you could put a whisper of this on and look stunning, or build this up to a full beat. And with that just enough natural luminosity to it, looks like skin, but wears like a dream. This is all I wore in Myrtle Beach this year in 95-degree weather. So let that speak volumes of the wear that this has is on a different level. It is so, to me, this edged out the Maybelline serum. Was it Maybelline? I'm sorry, the L'Oreal serum.
The skin tint.
The skin tint. The dropper, everyone. Because
the nude
hyaluronic skin something.
Yes.
Because that one is beautiful on mature skin, but it is a little too... I feel like this wears better. Because of it has more meat to it. It's stronger when it comes to wear. So that's why that got edged out. And then, I'm going to say it. For me, my favorite launch of the entire year was the Supergoop Protect Tint.
This surprised me because, as y'all can rewind and go back to me saying, I made fun of you. I said, not that gray shit.
I remember.
And I remember, I mean, listen, those shades need to get a
little adjusted.
We need to fix that first one because it is gray. It is, I showed you, it is gray. One of the best skin tints I've ever used, and it does not
One of
separate.
the best foundations I've ever used.
Yeah.
I built this up to full beat before. I wore
amazing.
this as my full foundation to that Half Magic event we went to.
It's gorgeous.
And you talk about wear. This is and this is definitely more of the natural.
Skin tint.
A skin tint. This is more light natural, if you will, but wears beautifully on everybody.
An SPF.
SPF 50, bitch.
Love.
What they killed this. This is on a different level.
Amazing.
It's so incredible. Alrighty, next up we have the best color correctors goes to the e.l.f. What the hell is this called?
The putty color correcting eye brightener.
The e.l.f. putty correcting
color correcting eye brightener.
My second try.
This is the
Faye Dunaway. Moonlight won. No, it didn't. Or La La Land won. No, it didn't. Moonlight one instead.
Buttery, flaky, crispy crust.
Flaky crust. Honestly, good for e.l.f. because I feel like they, especially with this cream formula, duped the Bobbi Brown cream. It's so pigmented, but you need the littlest bit of this. Really great shade range. It goes super deep, dark to your oranges, your reds. And it's just breathtaking. It's a great, affordable option.
Yeah, and then the Ulta is what I have on now.
A new find, guys.
This is from at the time that this is coming out. It's not out yet.
But the beauty tier on Patreon, everybody.
Beauty tier on Patreon is, so we used a full face of
Ulta Beauty collection because they rebranded all their makeup.
At the end of the month, that is coming out. But this color corrector, let me just say, the texture of this.
Oh, stunning.
Wild. And what I do, I let this sit for about a minute. I put it on my under eyes, do something else. I'll even put foundation around, blend out the foundation, tap the color corrector out. And let me tell you something, it smooths out under the eye. Same thing with their concealer is an honorable mention.
Yes.
Same kind of formula.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yes.
But these color correctors, they have pink, peach, orange, green, and red.
Yes.
And it's everything you need. I would love to see a yellow one thrown in there too.
Yes,
because
yellow have a green. I think
they have a green.
Yeah,
I would love to see maybe an expansion down the line,
like a yellow and a violet and a blue.
Oh my gosh, I would love to.
It's such a good formula. I would mix this with my foundation. Let's say you want to cool down a foundation that's a little too yellow for you, etc. It's just imagine the most beautiful concealer formula you've ever tried, but with that beautiful enough pigmentation that it doesn't blend away, so it is going to correct.
Yeah.
And that's what I look for in a color corrector. And then the last one is the Erborian CC Red Correct. So as someone with redness, I'm a big believer in, I don't like that Ulta one we just mentioned. I wouldn't use that in green because I would, but it's a lot harder to work with because you really have to like blend it, shear it down, and you can be looking a little Elphaba real quick. I like something that has a perfect middle, goes all over the face to even it out. And then if you need a more concentrated green corrector, that's where I would maybe go to the Ulta one. But this Erborian, it's hydrating, smoothing, all over the face, beautifully cancels out redness like you cannot imagine. We've gushed about this over and over again. It's by far the best redness color corrector I have ever used, and it's totally, totally award worthy.
Okay, and for best concealers of the year,
who's gonna win?
So we have 4 winners. We have the Makeup by Mario concealer, the Say Beauty, Koki, and the Maxine's Revenge French Face Concealer. My gosh. These are all so different in what they do for you and the level of coverage and in terms of how they dry down and the finishes and everything. So even with the Mario being that it's a natural finish, medium buildable to full, but self-setting concealer with like caffeine and all that good stuff. This is the concealer I have on now. And this is one that I love to lay down under the eyes, let it sit for about a minute and then blend it out. And the coverage is impeccable.
Yes.
So letting formulas dry down for a little bit with any concealer and then blending them, you get more of an even coverage. You get more of an even finish out of them. Absolutely love that.
Won't settle as much.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Because when you're letting a concealer formula kind of dry down in the way that it will, it gets a little tackier. You go to blend it out. It's sometimes if you have to do it at like the right moment, but let it sit for about a minute. Don't let it sit too long. And then it just blends out so beautifully. And even with like the Koki too, being that it's more full coverage and matte, I let that one sit for a little bit less time because it sets a little bit faster. Self-setting as well. Very smoothing though.
The Koki, can we talk about it?
Yes.
Yeah. So creamy.
Yeah.
You said it. It's what Tarte Shape Tape
wants to be
and has never improved upon in the past decade.
But we have 3 formulas of it.
Absolutely. Getting farther away from the plot. We just, you know what I mean?
Full coverage matte, then full coverage creamy. And now we have medium coverage radiant. That's actually,
girl.
It's just, we're just dialing back the coverage. But I'm like,
I want a full coverage, natural finish, hydrating, not settling, long wearing, second skin concealer. And that's what, who would have thought? Koki with that, and the shades on this. They come out of the gate swinging. They always are really good with like coming out with a lot of shades when something, with complexion stuff. This is the Double Time Full Coverage Concealer is the name. I, again, forgot about this. And this is what I have. Well, I have Maxine's Revenge and this on. It's just, this almost has edged out my Juvia's Place. And the Koki has edged out Juvia's Place and Anastasia for me. Because Anastasia creases on my under eyes. I think it's something about the luminosity in it.
I like it better. I like the Anastasia better as a foundation than a concealer.
Interesting.
I use it on my face more. And it's gorgeous as a foundation.
Yeah.
Not on the under eye, it's almost too much.
Yes.
In the worst way.
Yeah. And then the Say is a find of mine where this thing, it's the glowy concealer of these 4. Glowy, radiant, and you would think that I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole, but I got sent it and I was like bored and playing around with it. I always know a luminous concealer. I was like, let's put it on the nose and watch this slide off like Crisco. Be like Bungo, like Crisco. Slide off my damn nose. This, I don't know what it is. It has that luminosity and that radiance, but she stays where you put it. It works well with every other product, even if you pair it with a more natural or matte foundation. If you have drier, mature skin and you want a little bit more of like a hydrating radiant, this is your pick. Best luminous concealer I personally use, especially testing it on my oily skin. And then Maxine's Revenge. This shit is, if you have mature skin, go to the website right now. It has that technology we talked about when we discovered this, saying that the pigment stretches. And when you use this, you will see what they mean. It is the most flexible, just second skin, doesn't settle, breathtaking, stay where you put it, less coverage. This is more of your light to medium coverage. It's just on a different level for texture, pores, mature skin. That is the pick for me. It's so innovative.
I gotta try this.
Oh my God. It's by far the most innovative.
I don't know how I have not purchased this yet.
You've not even used mine?
No.
Girl, that is wild.
Yeah.
It's on a different level.
I like feel like I've used this and I have not.
Just from me talking about it?
Yeah, I feel like I've already fallen in love with it.
It's so beautiful. My God. Next up, I forgot who went last. Best setting powder. So this is one man like we said in the beginning, still love Huda. Old Givenchy, rest in peace. You know, you got your one sizes, whatever. There really was not a lot of setting powders this year that blew us away, except the She Glam Insta Ready setting powder. It's a 2-in-1. You get your loose on the bottom, the pressed on the top. It comes in lavender, was the most recent launch. It comes in pink, translucent, peach. But this lavender worked us out.
It is by far, I have it on now. It is, I like it better than the pink that they have because the pink darkens my under eyes where I feel like for me, the purple is so wonderful because of the lilac tone that it takes out yellow where concealers tend to run very, very, very yellow on me where I run it
you
into
don't know
that
about
issue.
I have never in my life seen someone put a concealer on and it turns yellow.
It's, you know, the people that used to come into Sephora all the time, everything turns yellow on me. And I am now that person.
Yes.
Where everything does run very, very yellow under my eyes and it's so apparent and it makes it look worse. And I have never fallen in love with a setting powder this much because it is so smoothing, blurring, brightening, and gives you that little boost of, I don't want to say coverage, but color correction. So it just makes your concealer look even better. So it's brightening, color correcting, and then it just makes everything look smooth. So it is really just the do-it-all favorite. And
let alone if you have pores and oily skin. This will make your makeup wear all day.
Yeah.
It's it has the mattification power of the oil sucker primer.
Yeah.
Blurring, just pores be gone because it's so finely milled.
Yeah.
The loose one on the bottom, which the loose one on the bottom, I love for face. It's honestly kind of almost a little too fine to bake, but you can. And then the pressed on top, I love for the under eyes. It's just
I've used them both under my eyes.
Yeah.
And I like it, but I will say I almost like the pressed
a little better
for my under eye better than the loose because I feel like the loose can get a little out of control where that's what I did today. And sometimes you really have to I'm packing off that puff on my hand.
Yeah.
Where the press, I take it, I have more control. I really work it in that puff and press it.
Yes.
Unreal.
I love it.
Okay, next up we have the best colorful eyeshadows of the year. I am this photo gives me so much joy. So we have our 3 winners here. 2 of them are from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. We have the Ellis Atlantis palette, which is the bigger. And then we have the Robert Welsh Divination palette. And the, let us not be shocked here, the Ace Beauté.
And this is retroactive. This is giving Glenn Close her Oscar finally.
Yeah.
This came out 2-3 years ago. Yeah. I can't believe it's never won an award in our lexicon because of this shit.
I am shocked this didn't win last year.
I know.
How did this not? And this was saving looks and turning the party.
We maybe had the mentality of this year. It meaning it had to come out last year was our we did this year, but again we had the idea this year because the pickings were so slim of retroactive lifetime achievement Oscars.
And listen, if this is still available, because I just recently ordered this. Go now because I think Ace Beauté is getting rid of
something.
I think they're rebranding. So this is gonna go. First of all, not only an interactive game that comes with it, because it's the Paletopoly, which I didn't realize. I thought it was just a board game.
So just trust me. And I think it's so discounted. It's you get the game and this whole palette for $20, I think, at this point.
It's amazing.
Maybe 25 max. Just get rid of the game. Who cares? Or give it to a fucking white elephant.
No,
you
need the palette to play the game.
Oh, yeah. You could I'm pretty sure you can use any color like as long as you have a color eyeshadow palette. Yeah. So give that away to your niece or nephew or white elephant.
These are just,
you need this palette in your life. I can't, guys.
And that's how I feel about Blend Bunny, because now these are becoming such a staple for me, where every look that I do and every eyeshadow look that I do and everything, I have pretty much, I think I have all of the Blend Bunny palettes at this point, because I placed a huge order recently, and it is just one of the brands that is just doing it for me, that I've never been excited by eyeshadow palettes, so that a whole brand offers that I want all of them. This is just, I feel like because I have all of them, there's different colors in all of them, and even the rainbow palettes, you get different shades of those color families in all of them. So it's
a blue tone green, a yellow tone green. It runs the gamut of if you have these. I mean, you could do anything. It's like
anything
is possible. It's amazing.
These are the three. If I were to, who would be the three?
Out of everyone here, who would be the three?
These three palettes, I mean, are no joke. If I had to get rid of all my palettes, I've said it before, I would just have Blend Bunny and this one Ace Beauté, the Paletopoly, and be done.
And the Paletopoly, you get a little bit more. It's not quite as rainbowy, where there is. It takes a stance. It's like. Hot pinks and your purples, and then the greens are more mossy yellows. You're not getting like a blue green, but the formula of both of these is just the shimmers is what we want. Opaque, solid, blinding, stunning on a different level.
Yeah.
My
then
God.
We're not getting half shimmers.
No. But then you also, if we are getting something like that, like in the Robert, where the first row, one of the sides, if you will, is more of the toppers, where it's that diamond add to it. Like, that's what I want in shimmers. Like, I want take a fucking position on something. Like,
we just can't be a amethyst half shimmer.
Get out of here. Like,
these are just. Clap it up for the girls that do it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which shout out to
good.
What was that Blend Bunny you had today? It was called Blend, I think, the palette on the front. It just said Blend across the front.
Oh, the Blends palette, and it's matte rainbow, so there's no shimmers, but it's just the matte tight color story of a rainbow, no shimmers.
It's almost a baby version of the
Ellis Atlantis,
the big one on the bottom there. And that I brought it up because that's what's on my eyes today. That's all my mattes, the greens, the blues.
Yeah, because you have this and the Robert on.
I have one of the Roberts in my transition, and then the other blends. Two are the blends. Yes. And then we'll get to the shimmer, mama. We'll get to the shimmer.
Oh, that's right.
And then the best neutral eyeshadow, no surprise here, goes to the ColourPop Precious Metals palette, which... Who would have thought ColourPop made the list with an eyeshadow, considering how much I drag the licensed collections? But
these are different. The big ones are different.
Because it's a completely different formula that is only designed to these palettes for some reason.
This is what I have on.
Look at that shimmer on your eye. It's
And this is with a different shimmer.
On the lid.
On the lid that I...
Did you put it on top of something?
I did.
Yeah, so you do have a shimmer on the lid.
I do have a shimmer on the lid from this, and I topped it with something that you gotta find out. You gotta finger it. No brushy. No brushy. no brush. Just a fingery.
That's on the Patreon, the beauty tier premiere.
Yes, it is.
So, but this, I mean, it's just the perfect balance of cool, warm, blinding, buttery mattes. It has the perfect neutral palette.
Yeah, you could do a cool tone smoky eye. Obviously, you could do neutral browns, and then you could go more warm and do a copper. What a fantastic eyeshadow palette. And from top to bottom, when you're looking vertically, these color stories all go together.
Yes.
So I think it's very cool that they kind of break it down look-wise for you. If you're kind of not feeling inspired.
Yes.
You're like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? I just want to do a look.
Pick a row.
Yeah, just pick a row and go through.
Pick a
column.
To die for $35. Insane.
Unreal. And I just got mine on sale at Ulta, which this is weird. It's online only at Ulta. And I was like, oh, look at that. And it was on sale. And I think I got this for $19.
Oh, interesting.
So I was like, oh, work. Love that.
Wow. Oh my God.
So next up we... Johnny is unwell,
guys.
So now we have the best liquid shadows for this year, and while these are, you know what, I'm gonna argue that these are probably rebranded. Are the Danessa Myricks Color Fix that we have redone? If you follow the Patreon, you can see all that.
We opened up the whole unboxing. We got all of them.
So we have the Danessa Myricks, the Color Fix, the whole range,
Everything.
matte, sparkler, shimmer, metallics, everything. And then you found...
Okay. So I will admit, I believe this brand, I refer to it as, it's VDI VOV. The logo seems to be VDI, but whenever I look this up online, it gives me the full VDI VOV. This is a K-beauty brand, and I believe that's the brand, the full VDI VOV. These are the Bling Glitter Liquid Eyeshadows. Just look at my eyes if you're watching on video. And you can attest, by far, more than Stila back in the day, Kit and Karma. Like, you know, when I put on a liquid eyeshadow, unless you're giving me some duochrome, chrome, blinding, mirrored effect, I want to suck a man off that went to Jared, takes that diamond, and Julianne diamonds in my liquid eyeshadow. I want chunks. I want to literally make a car crash when the fucking sun hits my eyes. These liquid eyeshadows, I said it last week talking to Robert, these are the ones Robert made me buy that night when I went down the rabbit hole, which you can find a lot of K-beauty brands on yesstyle.com. That's what I was referring to last week. These are the most beautiful liquid eyeshadows I've ever used in my life. Specifically, I have the silver on, as well as the O2 rose gold, and the other one, I believe, is just like a gold, and it's more, the one in the picture here is the rose gold.
That's what I have on. Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. You handed me that because I was having issues.
Yes.
And I carved out my crease with it, and it was just stunning.
Look at it. It's the most chunky, beautiful. And I have 2 solid layers on this, 0 creasing. It's just
gorgeous.
Right?
It's beautiful. It's stunning.
Look
at the material.
Are you kidding me, everyone? Why did I pick today, of all days, to serve it this hard? I don't know if a liquid eyeshadow will ever top these in my life. Where then I think with the... What, you don't like your makeup?
Mine's chunky.
What did you put underneath that got suspicious?
The Ulta.
The Ulta. Okay.
With the brush. With the finger, it is no problemo.
I know.
But mama, you do that with a brush?
Yes.
Chunky.
I know. We're referring to the thing you'll see in the beauty tier premiere on Patreon. I know. Then the Danessa Myricks, you're getting run the gamut of when she redid this. Not only are the colors incredible, but the finishes. You have everything: matte, sparkle, shimmer, diamond, this, that. Like there's something for everyone. And I just love a really beautiful matte liquid eyeshadow formula, because like when I was doing this today, I have weird little, like, I don't know if it's scars or whatever the case is, but there's just areas of my lid that powder shadow doesn't always stick to. And when I'm going this hard, like I did with my eyeshadow, the blue on my outside just was not as intense as I wanted it to be. I grabbed one of these in, I think it was called Primary Blue, put it right there, blended it out of my outer corners, and to die for. And then when I put powder on it, it has that base.
Yeah.
It's just
and
so
what
good.
I love about the Danessa formula is that they are formulated, all of them, to work on the eyes, face, and lips. You can mix them with primer to make a blush. You can mix it with other mediums to make... You can use them to line your lips because they do dry down. They are waterproof. They are transfer resistant. They are non-drying when they're on the lip, but if you pop over like with a gloss, they have a clear glaze. They call them glazes. There's couple different colors. They have a black, a rose, and a clear. Put that over it, and there's just endless possibilities with these
artistic.
because you can really mix them, create your own custom shades. I mean, it's just unreal. There's a black and a white.
Yes.
The white doesn't crack.
I know.
Oh my God. It's unreal. I can't.
I know.
It makes me so sick. I love these.
Stunning. I literally just put a little bit of the lightest Danessa in my center of my lips just to show you the lip power. Next up, best brow products. I almost said breast. It was really hard for me to that was a tongue twister. First up, we have the Milk Kush Swimmers. The Kush tubing brow gel. This was so cool. We've talked about it. I love the tubing brow gel. If you have thin brows, this will double the thickness of your brow hair. So it's really good for volume. It gives great hold. It's just, again, innovative this year. It's really cool that no one else, why did no one else think of a tubing brow gel? And then everyone, buckle up. We almost didn't include this because we didn't want to spoil it for the beauty tier, but it is award worthy that quick. I know you may not believe me, but this next sentence is real. Never in my life did I think we would all find a dupe for the Rare Beauty Laminating Brow Gel. This is the rebranded new product, Ulta Beauty Collection Laminating Brow Gel, as good as Rare Beauty beyond belief.
Yeah, no crunchiness. It's
on a different level.
It dries down, but it's not crunchy.
Look at my brows.
Yeah.
And like Rare Beauty, my other thing with the laminating brow gel is when I put it, I obviously know it needs to dry down and hold as hard as I want it to, but I want my brow gel because on one of my brows, the brow hairs don't grow up the way the other one does. So when I put it on the brow that it doesn't grow straight up, my hairs, and I comb them up, I want it to hold it immediately. Like it needs to be viscous and thick enough bulk to hold it straight, to move it instantly before it dries down, to get it to stay how I want it. Like Rare, if you told me this was Rare Beauty's formula in a different packaging, I would believe you.
Yeah.
So it's cheaper. Yeah. And I have to say, I love the paddle on the Ulta. It's more of a flat, plasticky comb to really get through.
It's the Patrick Ta brush.
And I almost feel like because of that, if I have to say it, when I really want my brows in place, something you can do with the laminating brow gel is back comb it and like go backwards on your brows, because then that will get it all dispersed underneath your brow hairs. If I do that with Rare Beauty, because it's a typical brush, a fluffy, even though it's small, it's a fluffy brush. That brush holds so much product. If I back comb Rare through my brow, if you have fuller brows, too much product. It's too much. Like I'm almost trying to then scrape
it looks like your
out.
brow is filled and then your hairs are laying next to it.
There's way too much product where, because this is a plastic spatula with the almost like a hairbrush.
It's slightly more liquidy than Rare.
It's not as goopy.
It's not as much of a pomade as Rare.
Yes. So I can back comb this and it doesn't put too much product in my hair. So you heard it here. Find a dupe for the Rare Beauty Laminating Brow Gel. This has blown me away, and I was like salivating filming that video.
Okay, next up we have the best liquid bronzer for 2024. We have the... I had to think about what year it was, if I said that right. We have the e.l.f. bronzer and contour. So... love these. I was a little skeptical.
Love her.
Love pink.
We were on the fence.
We were on the fence. I think when these first came out and I heard about them, I was like, first of all, we had a bronzer contour situation in the squeeze tube that was duping Charlotte. So I said, what is she doing?
Say it to her face. And my problem with those was the first one was beautifully cool tone, and then it turned into bronzer, where there was nary a cool tone in sight.
Yeah.
So don't call it a liquid contour.
Yeah. And the fact that these come in a wider shade range and the colors are better, I would hands down do this formula. And I was even a little bit nervous because I would say with the blush version of these, I was not as in love with it because I felt like they took a lot of work to look pretty. And sometimes I feel like the blush ones were lifting my makeup. Where these,
I know, they
are outstanding and stunning. Yeah. And I feel like it's not consistent to the blush formula, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Where I feel like the blush is kind of like, they really take a little bit of work of what you're applying them on. You got to keep that in mind. Where these, I feel like if you have to do this over powder, if you have to go back in, it still works. But I do this over my liquid foundation before I set my face and then go reinforce this with powder bronzer after the fact. And these are outstanding.
Better cool tone shades.
And $8.
I know. Better cool tone shades. And it almost has the slightest luminosity to it, but not glitter.
It's skin-like.
These to me are like the, spoiler alert, the NYX Butter Melt bronzer and blush formula, the way that hat looks shiny in the pan, but then it just looks like skin.
Yeah.
This is that in liquid form.
I agree.
Where I would still, honestly, liquid bronzers and contours, my number one is still Trixie. That is unbeat, but that won last year.
Yeah.
So we wanted to give, it was because of the affordability of these that these made it on the list.
Yeah.
And jumping right in, the best powder bronzers, which Bronzers, contours. We have the NYX Buttermelt bronzer. Phenomenal. We kind of just touched on it. Beautiful luminosity, looks like skin, shade range is impeccable.
Fully pigmented.
So
less
beautiful.
is more.
Yes. And then I put on, now hear me out. I've said it. I believe I've said it more on Patreon. The YSL bronzers. Listen, I hate myself because I think it's in the 70s, isn't it? $70 range.
I don't think so.
If not 60s.
I think maybe 50, 60.
Oh God, let's just look it up and vomit.
Go ahead, keep talking. I got you.
I hate that this is a high-end bronzer, but listen, sometimes the high-end shit, works it out. This is one of the most
65.
I'm telling you, girl, 60. I know, I hate myself. It's a big pan. Packaging is beautiful. Literally looks like faux leather on top. So at least with a raised gold emblem. This is a collector's piece. But on top of that, this is, and Kevin can attest because they sent me 2 shades and I gave the lighter one to him and you have number 1, I have number 2. It's literally blurring. It is so blurring on the skin where if you have mature skin or if you have pores, oh my God. And it's perfect where you don't have to tap off the brush like crazy. It's buildable. The edges practically feather themselves out. For me to be turned on by a fucking $65 bronzer, it had to bend me over like Luigi. And did she ever?
Yeah.
Listen, I would not put a $65 bronzer on here if it did not deliver.
If it didn't perform. And I will say that YSL just needs to always tweak their shade ranges, especially because I know they are coming out with blushes in this formula.
I know.
And girl, don't do no foolish shit.
I know. They need darker shades.
4 shades and it's
I know.
The darkest berry is ashy. And I'm like,
I know.
ugh. I'm like, who wants that?
I know.
But come out with beautiful blush shades. Take a note from House Labs.
Totally.
Come out with 12 bronzers.
I know.
Come out with 6 to 7 blushes.
I know.
Then.
I know. It does piss me off. I know. So I'm hoping. Yeah. And then probably the most exciting on this list is the Kaleidos Beauty. This is I believe they're called Trio Symphony or Symphony Trios. You get a contour that is actually cool tone, a bronzer, and a light shade. We discovered these in January. So this is really and we talked about it then. The highlighting shade, the skin shade, if you will, we refer to the KVD shade and light.
Yeah.
I would not touch that product, that the skin tone one in a contour palette like this if my life depended on it, because
there's always
chalk dust,
peach, or shimmer in it.
Absolutely. This, not only the contour and the bronzer, absolutely perfect, beautiful formula, creamy, stunning, actually cool tone, actually warm tone. The trios, I think there's 6 or 7 in them, so kudos to that, where the fairest person to the deepest person, they actually have a wide shade range. Beautifully curated, where the contour and the bronzer are so perfect for that color family, the range, but the light highlighting skin tone shade in this, as good as any powder foundation.
And when I tell you this saved my under eyes, and I forget what video that was on your channel.
I think it was La London makeup, maybe.
Coverage.
Oh, girl.
And smoothness and brightness that I felt like I wasn't. Again, I can't believe I haven't ordered one of these for myself.
Yeah.
Because of that coverage that I feel like whenever I'm here, I always I grab that.
Yes.
If I'm the concealer or this didn't really, the setting powder looks a little weird, I would take this with a flat, fluffy flat brush and just gently press that over, and it really sets everything back into place, makes it look brighter, smoother, done.
Stunning.
It's just so wonderful.
Amazing.
Okay, and then we have the best liquid blushes and also cream blush formula of the year. So we have the House Labs. What are these called?
Skin Fuse.
The glassy, color fuse glassy blush bombs.
Sure.
And then we have the About Face, the liquid blushes. Mm-hmm. So I will say House Labs, I was very skeptical when these were first coming out, that I think we were very
anything
what is this going to do?
In it.
That it was going to look
very,
that it was just going to separate our makeup. It was going to lift.
Greasy.
Put this over powder. You put this on whatever formula is on you. You could put this over them. And it doesn't make you look wet, but it makes you look hydrated and
stunning,
perfectly balanced. And you could put this over a powder blush or put this on anything, any
Yes.
formula. And it is just such a unique formula where I feel like there's not a lot of like a white color backing. So all of these shades can work on so many different skin tones. Like we've worn the darkest of the shades and we've worn the lightest of the shades, and you can make all of these kind of work.
Oh, yes.
And I just feel like it's such a unique formula where it's I want to say almost translucent.
Yes.
Because it has, like, you could see through the color, but it builds up just enough.
Yes.
Where if you want a kiss of color or if you want a punch of color. And Cynthia Erivo was wearing these at the Met Gala when she had that pink wrapped all the way up. She was wearing
before these launched.
She was wearing the bright pink one. And I love the packaging that you keep twisting and more the product comes up. So I think that's even really innovative, that you don't have to dig for the product.
Yes.
Like the Fenty stick, which I think is great. And then About Face, I got a few of these, and even the purple, the bright purple, the bright pink, the peach. These
out of
colors
all the liquid blushes this year, liquid and cream blushes this year,
we've
waterboarded
been
again.
Just again, no new information. Liquid blushes are on the market.
Oh my God!
And these are some of my favorites. I just love how they blend out.
And out of all of them, man, because I mean, we had Lunar Beauty, we had Lawless, we had. Oh my God, I'm blanking. But I mean, I have it in my studio. Every blush. Brands, man. We had 10 or 11 liquid and cream. Huda, like these are the winner. Not only the shades, but there's no. They work on deep skin because there's no white backing to them.
Yeah.
And they, for me, I love if it's not going to be as balmy as the House Labs, because speaking to that real quick, even having combo and oily skin, by the time I put my blush on, I'm already so like mattifying Dolce & Gabbana primer. We have a natural finish or a matte finish foundation. We've been powdered. We've been like set. We've been powder bronzered, powdered contoured. Then when I'm putting on my blush, I can put this balm, the House Labs, on top of all of that to add the hydration back in. And I know it's not going to sink through all the layers underneath it. And I want a little bit of that glow back in, because I'm so preserved, embalmed, if you will, and matte, that I want that skin flush back in, the tone and texture of the balm.
Yeah.
But then the About Face, they have that where you can put it on the hand, buff it into the brush, and it gives you the hydration and beauty of a liquid and cream, but the edges almost blend out like a powder. Mm-hmm. It has that, it's not like stuck where you put it, like a lot of the liquid and the creams are either too goopy doopy or the liquids are too stuck in place and unblendable, where the About Face was the one for both of us that it had the pigmentation and the blendability.
Yeah.
Ooh, and then a juicy category, we have best powder blushes. So first we have the NYX Buttermelt blushes. We were so happy about this. We said it before it happened, like where were the blushes in the drugstore that weren't Neutrogena, Death Pink, Gray Pink,
Thought of Peach.
Literally.
Yeah.
So finally, a brand came out with a huge range of colorful blushes. So obviously we have the NYX for that.
Yeah.
We also have the Revi Beauty, the baked blushes. So stunning, beautiful on mature skin, just buildable. Give the gorgeous luminosity. I said it so many times. I love baked blushes on mature skin, but all of these are stunning.
So
and
blurring.
Can't wait for her to expand. And then we have immaculate, the two Blend Bunny palettes I am wearing, actually. So in that the brighter orange
I think in
one.
the Juicy. I think it's called Juicy, and then the other one's Bare.
Okay. In the Juicy, the colorful one, I have the pink on next to the yellow. And then I took on which I hate this kind of a brush. It's like the super long, fucking gross highlighter brushes.
That looks like a Q-tip.
A big fucking,
I love those. I
fell
in love with them this year because of blush.
Okay, and that's where I've discovered where I literally, because of my eye look, I took the yellow and I literally feathered all around the edges. Do you see it? Like I have the yellow all on the edges to slightly bring out the yellow that I had in my eyes. So this palette is just, and everyone as well, on the Robert Welsh episode last week, I have a red and gold eyeshadow look. All of the red eyeshadow, quote unquote, on my eye is from the Bare palette, the reds, the two on the bottom middle.
Yeah. And I have on the blushes from the Bare one. I have on the top left and top right. So I did the top right first and then went back in and punched in a little more color with the peach.
Yes.
And they are just so
beautiful
on the skin. I just love these. They're amazing.
Stunning.
All right. And then for best setting spray of the year, we have the Makeup by Mario, the Surreal Skin Setting Spray. This one, I will say, surprised me.
Yes.
In a way that I thought it was going to be very dewy, hydrating. Like the rest of his stuff is very like glowy and editorial and let's look glowy,
Pam
glowy.
Cooking spray.
Yeah. This, for being the claim of a 16-hour wear natural finish, which I will even argue, I think this is the finish of your makeup. And let me explain what I mean by that.
Absolutely. I know what you mean.
Take an Urban Decay where it's a 16-hour wear, original all-nighter. Doesn't disturb the coverage or the finish rather of your makeup. So if you are wearing something very, very matte and put all-nighter on top, it's not going to make your makeup more glowy. It just kind of does what it's supposed to, where this it is that, but there's skin loving ingredients. When I put this on, not only does it feel good and I don't feel sticky from it.
No.
Other, like the all nighter, I feel like I don't know if you feel this way. There's a lot of setting sprays out there. If I spray them on my face, if I'm wearing a sleeveless shirt, my arms feel sticky.
My arm hair is stuck to my skin.
And I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Now, I don't mind.
What was that?
I don't mind being a little sticky.
You don't.
No, but I mean, there's something about this setting spray, and I'm almost done with it, that it has become such a fast staple because it's not disturbing my makeup where once you let this dry, my powder... Yes. I don't look as powdery. My skin looks amazing. It sets everything in place. And transfer proof, water like resistant, I would say. Just
which don't get it twisted. This didn't replace my one size. I always one size myself first. Yeah. Because that's the lasting power. We always say it. You're never going to get what one size does until dawn. That is a setting spray. That is going to make your makeup last. Please, Dawn. It's Christmas. That's going to make your makeup last. And these can obviously sprays like this that are more for lack of a better word, water-like, where one size is a can of hairspray. These watery ones, that it can make your makeup last, not as much as one size, but I use setting sprays like this to make my powders melt into my skin. And when I tell you, you're right, this does exactly what Urban Decay All Nighter does with better ingredients, without the stink, and without the putt-putt spritz of that sprayer.
This is like a non-aerosol spray.
It has that, but and even Urban Decay has the pump, but you know when she getting down to the wire, it's fucking spitting chunks at you.
They say do one continuous pump because it's a very one of those aerated mist.
It's like
it's a true mist.
Oh, it's stunning.
That sound is very accurate.
That. And when I tell you I soak myself in this, soak, because I want all of that. I literally will let it dry down a little bit, and then I take a dry beauty blender and I press it into my skin to make all my baby hairs lay down, to make the powders melt in this. And you're right, it doesn't alter the finish I made my makeup become. It's not adding more dew. It's not adding more matte. And again, even with one size isn't either. One size is just adding a fucking coat of plastic. You know what I mean? It's just setting the makeup. That's what I want. I didn't do all this work.
Soft matte layer, but it's not like I can use one size, and I know I've used one size, and listen, does it help? Like, definitely keep it on because it's a waterproofing, shellacky finish.
But if you put a glowy foundation on, it's not making that glowy foundation not glowy anymore.
Yeah.
That's what I want in a setting spray. I didn't do all this work for my setting spray to change the finished result of my makeup.
And some people, there are times where I've, like the Half Magic, where I do love that, where if I want to add a glowy finish, there are setting sprays that I will argue are even setting half finishing sprays, where finishing sprays, to me, there's a huge difference. Finishing powder, setting powder, very, very different. Setting sprays will set your makeup in place. Transfer proof.
Yes.
What was that? Transfer proof. Timestamps, receipts,
timeline.
Yeah. And I feel like finishing sprays are more of your I want to add glowy. I want to look more dewy. I want to look more wet, like a Patrick Todd. That's a finishing spray, not a setting spray. It's not setting your like it's not setting your spray. It's not setting your makeup. It's going to finish it.
Yep.
Where if you feel dehydrated, oh, I want to add a little bit of like a Glow Recipe watermelon mist. That's like a finishing mist.
Absolutely.
That's not a setting mist.
It's so don't get that finish.
Just because it comes out in a spray doesn't mean it's, setting you, baby.
Totally.
But this is just one of the ones that I was shocked by how much I loved it. But I feel like we're heading in the right direction with Mario, where not everything has to be
Glow-Tina.
I was afraid that this was going to have shimmer in it.
Me too. Like the NARS that came out this year. Girl.
Huh?
The luminous setting spray?
It has shimmer?
It does what Half Magic does, but like too shiny and greasy.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, so for the best mascara of the year, I don't think this won last year, but this is the L'Oreal Panorama Mascara, and I don't know how this didn't win because—
Did this come out last year?
Yeah.
Oh.
So this came out last year. I know this was in our like top favorites, and listen, I'm sorry, maybe it did win. Maybe I'm just delusional.
I don't know.
I don't know, but you know what? It's great because there's a new version of it. It just came out, and it's absolutely fantastic. I think it's just a deeper black.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
Oh, girl, enough with that.
But let me tell you something. One of the best tubing mascaras on the market. I have tried pretty much all of them, from the Blinks to the Giga Black from MAC. It is just, this is one of the best. Voluminous, separates your lashes, gorgeous, like volumizing, lengthening, separating mascaras that doesn't make your lashes goopy, but still is tubing, where it's not like the Cali Ray where it's hard to get off. And that's the point of a tubing mascara.
Yeah.
Takes the ease of makeup removing, and you don't have to sit there and like rub your lashes together with makeup
mascara
remover
on for 2 days.
I literally take the Blend Bunny makeup removing balm, and I literally take this on my eyes, and I'll just like let it sit and just push this on my lashes, and like literally take that little bit of water. And even I've gotten in the shower with a full face of makeup on, and this is the first thing to come off because the warm water breaks down to— that is a tubing mascara.
Yes.
It's supposed to be water soluble. So the waterproof version I think is kind of stupid, because isn't that the point of being tubing? Is that it's water breaks down with water. So I don't get it.
Yeah.
This is— I can't speak on this enough that I love this formula, especially for the drugstore. And listen, it's not $5. I think it's like $15.
Yeah.
But compared to all the other mascaras that are $30, $40, even $50 Tom Ford mascaras.
Get the hell out of here.
I don't think I've used a regular mascara that isn't tubing since I started this journey with tubing mascara, and I will never go back.
Yeah.
Because why am I going to struggle to take off my makeup at the end of the day?
Absolutely.
And this just does it. And it doesn't flake. It doesn't smudge. It doesn't itch my eyes.
Yes.
Mama.
And as someone that, I just want to put mascara on to like get it over with because I'm putting lashes on. I love this brush. I love a plastic brush that I can get down to my root and that I can put on my bottom lashes without making a mess. It doesn't get the job done, and it makes a fucking mess. Like, I just don't want a mascara that makes a mess. And I love this brush. I can get all the way down to my roots. You're right. Total separation. It's awesome.
It doesn't stay goopy wet.
No, it
like the
dries
Milani,
quick.
because the Milani tubing mascara in the green.
My fucking eyes for 20 minutes waiting for it to dry.
I've literally, there was the one day where I looked down at my phone after putting mascara, and I looked up and it was all underneath. I sneezed one day, and I mean, with wet mascara, it is what it is.
Yeah.
That Milani was on for a minute and I sneezed, and it was all over me, and I literally couldn't get it off. I was like, oh, so now it dries. I said, congratulations, now it dries.
Yeah, that's what it needed, a good sneeze.
Couldn't flake it off, but this is one of the best mascaras ever.
All right, and then we have best lip liners. We have the Makeup Forever, the artist colored pencils, but they came out with the waterproof version. And I kind of wanted to give that a shout out because for me personally, the regular Makeup Forever pencils lip liners, especially if you really want to put a gloss on it, for me, they can move on me. They can, I have to kind of touch them up, where these waterproof ones, Hurricane proof, do not budge. We did actually a swatch test of both of them next to each other on Patreon when I got these, and the waterproof did not budge. So I just love that these are so long wearing. And then we have from Clio, a K-Beauty brand. You can also find on Yes Style. I think they're on Amazon, but not every shade is on Amazon for some reason. The Clio Velvet Lip Pencils. These are, isn't it over there? Girl, I am wearing 04, what's the color?
Tan brown.
04 tan brown. This cool tone, beautiful. It's basically the little sister of Endless Cacao from Makeup Forever. And if that is too dark and too cool for you, this is like a little bit less scary. It's just, these pencils are stunning. They don't move. Even number 3 is like the perfect nude with a little bit of pink, more pinky blush tone to it. To die for. Check out the Clio Velvet Lip Pencils.
Yeah.
So stunning.
Ever since you gave this to me, this is by far, because Endless Cacao, while I do love that for a deeper cool tone,
it's more statement.
Yeah, it's like Stone from MAC.
Yes.
Where this is the perfect
nude.
The perfect nude where there's a little bit of warmth under there.
You could go totally cool or warm, and it's right in the middle.
And it is one of the perfect lip liners. So it is by far one of my favorites.
And then best lipsticks, we have the CoverGirl Clean Color lipsticks, I believe they're called, and then the Revie Beauty Effortless Lips. So we talked about the CoverGirl. I think they're like $9, maybe $11 on different retailers. Came out with a bang. Beautiful range of color.
Mm-hmm.
I have
bamboo, snow blanket. Creme.
I have a satin slipper. I need a little bit of pink at the beginning of the episode. I put the Danessa on top, but just absolutely breathtaking. Stunning. I love the clear packaging that you can see. And actually, the color matches the color of the lipstick. So if you're shopping in store, it's not deceiving. Affordable, full range of dark brown, red, blue base, orange based, all the way to mid-tones, bridal tones, nudes, cool tone nudes.
Bus, club,
another club. And then, don't get us started on Revie Beauty. And based on the choice of words, we know y'all loving these too. I could wear Lily till the cows come home.
All 9 of these. I have worn every single one of these. And I put one of these on my mom for a wedding we went to, and she was like, this like feels great.
It's
addicting.
She was
like, and it's the right amount of, because my mom doesn't love full coverage lips, like here we go. Yes. But this was buildable on her, where I built up the color and it felt right for her, where she's like, this is like the right amount of color. It feels great on the lips.
So comfortable.
And I was like, yeah, this is like one of like the best lipstick formulas for anybody that wants a pop of color, a nude. There is something for everybody in this range out of 9.
Perfect name, Effortless. It's real. It's so simple. And it feels, like I said, I've worn this to events before that I'm like putting it on as though it's chapstick, because I'm just addicted to the feeling. And I'm like, you probably look like fucking Jimbo. Like, who's a pretty girl? Putting on, and I'm like, girl, this has color. Like, color. So that's so baggy. To it. And I'm just, I'm excited. I really haven't gotten a chance to dive into the deep, the red, yet. Girl, I need to.
Rose is such, and Verbena.
I know.
Can't.
It's just Allie killed it.
I'm sick. Okay, last but not least, we have the CoverGirl. This is the best lip gloss of the year. This is the last award for the makeup category. It's the best lip gloss, and it goes to the CoverGirl Yummy Plumper Gloss formula. These are brand new. Mama, when I tell you, I ordered 2 of this nude. And I ordered 4 other shades because they were buy one, get one 40 off at Ulta. And I said, do. Order. They did not come in time. I was going to wear one of these and I put them in the other room. So sorry if you're looking for them.
I am, because I am mad at myself. The one in the middle here, guys, what is it called? Oh my God.
I ordered 2 of them. I should know.
Snow. Let me put it this way. I'll be wearing it on next week's episode.
Business, like show
literally
business.
Something like that. It is. They had no business making this cool tone. It's basically what Fleshpot should be, melted down into a lip gloss. Like maybe a little darker, but
it is the right tone.
No, you know what it is? It's creme de nude. Old creme de nude melted down into a lip gloss.
Yeah, mixed with a little bit of blankety.
It is, and it's not burn plump, it's menthol plump.
It's the cooling. So Buxom, if you're familiar with the Buxom feel of the cooling.
Yes.
It is when I tell you one of the most beautiful, head
Why
over to
do I
Patreon, watch our unboxing because we swatched all of these on Patreon.
Imagine that right now over this.
You need
I'm bugging. It'll be on next episode.
Yeah. It is honestly one of the best.
Are sickening.
And let me just say it here. For me, not liking, there's a color in here that's like I'm going to say a burnt red.
Yeah.
When I swatched that, the packaging was almost clear packaging. You could see the formula.
Yeah.
Very deceiving. Because when you swatch these, I lost my mind.
I know.
And so please head over to Patreon to go see us watch all these because they were outstanding. Stunning. I literally had to, that day, I sat here and ordered the blue shimmer.
Yes.
Because it's like clear with a little bit of blue so we can work over anything.
Makes
and
your
even
teeth whiter.
And even cooling down something that might be a little too warm. If you have a peachy, the blue kind of goes right over and cancels a little bit of that.
Yep.
It's
similar to like the green Robert Welsh made for the divination collection. Yeah,
exactly.
And I know we've talked about make lip gloss great again. Like we want straight up lip gloss. So the reason this made it to lip gloss is because even though it has the plumping effect, it's not burning, which I don't want to go to the ER. And the element of whatever the menthol, the plump is not fucking with the formula. It's not making it break up. And these have the pigmentation of a gloss where I can goopy do, you'll see next episode, on the lips. And it's stunning.
And let's say maybe they're listening to this podcast because we said that the original Yummy glosses.
Where was the color?
Why can I pick up 5 shades
bitch?
And they're all the same?
Where's the beef?
And
give me the color.
Pigmentation. Stunning. And some of them are sheer shimmers, but that nude.
Girl.
I want to.
And I'm telling you now, they better not pull foolishness. We're pissed. A lot of the shade names are like winter themed. These better not be limited edition winter bullshit. So just, I would not wait to get these because they may pull something fucking foolish and get rid of these. And these are stunning. Alrighty, everyone, that was the Mary Dugan Awards for the best makeup of 2024. You may notice that there was no beauty brand of the year this year because everyone disappoints us. There was no one brand that did it like across the board with. And to get beauty brand of the year, I need innovation. I need multiple successful launches. And it just wasn't the tea this year. So listen, that's how we play. No one wins. Nobody wins. But we hope you like these picks. We, like we said, would add these to everything we loved last year. Make sure to watch last year if you're new here or haven't seen it, because we are still using every single winner from last year, which was what made these awards so hard. So sound off on your favorites, and we will see you next week for the second part of the Mary Dugan Awards, the fragrance, skincare, and hair care. We have a massive announcement in that episode. Should we tell them now?
Oh, why not? Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
All right, guys, you're hearing it here first. The beauty tier on Patreon is officially launching next Sunday in tandem with part 2 of the awards. So when you watch next week's episode, it will launch, and the minute she is over that episode, however long it is, the first beauty tier will launch and go live over on Patreon. Get ready for that, a week's time.
Yes.
So that being said, please subscribe to Patreon because there's so much content over there for the podcast tier already. The beauty tier is launching next week. Super affordable, both tiers. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube for your video episode 1 day early, as well as Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Leave us a 5-star review for as we almost close out season 2. Second to last penultimate season 2 episode. And wherever you are, we hope you are happy, safe, and healthy, and have a good upcoming holiday. This is right before Christmas. Have a good Christmas. And
is it really?
Yes, it is. Wherever you are,
after.
We hope you are happy, safe, merry, and gay. And
remember,
you
are beautiful.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
If you